From UFOs to psychic powers and government conspiracies, history is riddled with unexplained events. You can turn back now or learn the stuff they don't want you to know.
And we're back with more messages, or stories, all the things, communications from you, the conspiracy realist, the best part of the show. And this one is just delightful. Honestly, I was a little concerned that it was going to, be one of those kind of like, you guys totally got it wrong and screwed the pooch on this one. But it turned out to just be a really, really, really amazing bit of detail around the idea of handwritten letters as advertising, or in this case, as evangelizing. So I don't have to say any more. We'll get into the conversation in a minute. But here is a letter from Anna. Hi, my name's Anna. And first of all, I just wanted to say I love your podcast. Thank you, Anna. I was listening to your latest episode today, The Troubling Future of Advertising. And about 3/4 of the way in, I had to laugh to myself a little bit because you started to talk about receiving handwritten letters from religious groups. As it so happens, at the time, I was writing one of these letters.
What?
I'm one of Jehovah's Witnesses. And if you've received any handwritten letters, they're probably from your local witnesses. We are not evangelicals, but are a Christian religion. It may be possible other religious groups may be sending letters to people too, but we do it on the largest scale. Anyway, I heard you had a couple of questions on the nature of these letters in your episode, so I thought I'd answer some of them for you. First off, the reason we write these letters is because of, wait for it, COVID-19. Due to COVID-19, we can no longer go door to door like we used to. So we've had to adapt, thus letter writing. Second, yes, we do handwrite the letters, each and every one of them. Though some witnesses may opt to type them, but most prefer handwriting because, like you mentioned, it makes it more personal. That being said, we're making our letters personal for different reasons than an advertisement. Unlike ads, we actually care about people, and we want to show it by taking the time to write a letter just for them. We're not trying to sell anything. We just want to offer some encouragement and hope. We never ask for donations or charge for literature. Actually, most of us lose money writing to people. I know I do because we pay out of pocket for stamps, envelopes, and paper. But we still do it because we care about our neighbors. Third, you mentioned receiving letters written by children. These letters are in fact written by children. Witnesses encourage their kids to participate in letter writing with them. My family usually does it together on Saturdays for a little while. Though we aren't forcing kids to write letters, they do it of their own free will. As you said, sometimes the letter's message may seem mature for the appearance of the writing. That's because some kids need some help knowing what to write, so they'll copy the parents' letters. My little brothers do this. Lastly, I have never heard of any witnesses using the term "I'll pray for you," or anything along those lines, as it seems very judgmental and a little creepy. So if you get a letter that says that, it's probably not from us. Anyway, hopefully that answers some questions about what our operation, in quotes, looks like. And I truly hope those who receive my letters look at them as a message from someone who cares about them rather than an advertisement. If you have any questions about Jehovah's Witnesses, you can learn more about our beliefs at our website, jw.org. Again, love your podcast. Every episode I learn something new. Keep it up and have a great day. I'm not going to lie, Matt. I'm getting a little verklempt right now, and I don't know why. Only because I think this is really lovely. This is a really lovely sentiment, and Anna's clearly a lovely person. And while I have my beefs with organized religion, certainly, and I've made no attempts to hide that on the show, I also realize that the community aspect of it and the support aspect of it, and the kind of like trying to give people hope and engender kind of positive qualities and like living to be the best version of yourself. All of those things are really powerful, positive qualities of certain organized religion. And I'm not here to neg or diss on anything that anyone's doing that's bettering themselves or making them, literally treat their neighbors more kindly, or with respect, or in a way that tries to make them feel seen. And I just thought this was really lovely. But also, I love the fact that Anna wasn't mad that we brought this up in the context of advertising, that she totally acknowledges that it could be seen or taken that way, and did some things to clear it up without feeling preachy or judgy in any way. So I don't know. Hats off to you, Anna, for this letter. It really kind of made me feel things. What do you think, Matt?
That's awesome. Well, my favorite thing is that she's listening to this show of all
Right.
shows while she's doing that,
Right.
like outreach to people. Not what I would expect, Anna, but hey,
Different strokes, huh? Like strokes of the pen. Get it?
yes, for sure. Man, Anna, I have a lot of questions, and I'm not going to pose them to you right now, but most of them have to do with, the baseline belief structure of, someone who identifies as a Jehovah's Witness, and some of those things like the acts. I don't know enough to like even have the conversation right now, but we've discussed Jehovah's Witnesses in the past, not at the individual level, but on the structural level, right, of the organization, and the belief system. I'm interested to know how those letters play into some of those larger beliefs, about, God, I might be getting this wrong, but treasures in heaven versus, how that's related to your acts on this plane on Earth. And I just wonder like where the letter writing fits into all of that.
Yeah, and I have to wonder too, like, I mean, maybe it's not overt, but surely it's made clear in these letters that this is somehow an extension of the Jehovah's Witness organization. And I would imagine the intent in some small way has to be to, get people to pay attention and maybe give it a second thought because they felt seen and they felt, like they were given something very personal. And I think that's obviously whatever the intent. I mean, I think the intent of just like reaching out and trying to make people feel good and trying to help your neighbor, I think that's all great and obviously a very important part of this. But I also think there is certainly a component of it that is a form of, some form of recruitment.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean,
but it's done in a very classy way, and I think the intent of the utmost importance is what Anna is describing. And I'm not trying to contradict you, Anna, or say that you're not being on the level, because I think clearly you are, and it seems like this is something that is very meaningful to you and members of your community. And I love the idea of like getting together and doing this with the family. And of course, we know I think many of us have probably been visited by Jehovah's Witnesses, and I would argue this is probably a better alternative in this day and age. It's not. People are a little suspicious when people knock on their doors.
Yeah. Earlier today, I was in a meeting, and I heard a loud crack, crack, crack on my door, and my dogs were barking, and I ran over there to check it, and it was my friendly neighborhood AT&T salesperson letting me know about high speed.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I had someone come around a couple weeks ago, very similarly, very aggressive knock too, like a cop knock, like rap, 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 trying to pitch some kind of smart home installations. I feel like we're getting back to the days of Willy Loman or something like that. It's not. I don't think it's a good idea. I do not think it's going to take off. But I have something to add onto this. I think this is a really informative perspective, and I really again appreciate it, Anna. I did want to point out, though, that in looking into this a little further, there are quite a few companies that specialize in software and hardware that essentially creates the illusion of handwritten letters for ding, 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 marketing purposes. There's a company called Scribeless, and this is how they describe their technology. Oh my God, it's crazy looking, dude. It's crazy looking. It's basically, it looks like a robot kind of. It's like a bar with little feet on it, with a ribbon on it, kind of like think of like the top part of a typewriter. Only instead of there being keys, it's just this extension and this little grippy thing that holds an ink pen. And it literally moves back and forth, kind of like an inkjet printer, but it guides the actual physical pen. And it adds little imperfections. I just want to read a little bit from their site. In an era where everything is digitized and accessible with the click of a mouse, writing letters by hand is archaic and a big waste of time. Marketing has evolved in the past 20 years, changing the way businesses approach advertising. 2 decades ago, digital marketing was a secondary part of the marketing mix, if not even less relevant. In 2020, though, digital marketing is the starting point of any campaign. Marketers lost the need to spend valuable time on personally writing letters, slowly making handwriting something of a lost art. Fortunately, a few years ago, California-based DIY hardware manufacturer, wait for it, Evil Mad Scientist, decided to revive the spirit of handwritten marketing. They created a robotic pen plotter with one purpose: to guide a pen along a surface. But it's all lies. It's all a lie. It's not a handwritten letter at all. It's a robot written letter.
It's very weird. It does look very much like a handwritten letter, just done very well.
Yeah.
It's like the most perfect handwritten letter I've seen, but it's got these minor little imperfections.
Correct.
That trick your brain.
Little smudges. All you have to do is take it's literally like a piece of particle board with little alligator clips affixing the side of the letter on one side and the envelope on the other. And the thing just zips its way across the paper, making those little ink smudges and those little, handwritten imperfections. But I love the fact this whole thing, and then it goes on to say, every day, consumers and professionals get bombarded by promotional emails, digital ads, and meeting invites. Between 2014 and 2018, the average business professional received approximately 90 emails a day. That's one every 16 minutes. I think we can attest to that, Matt. That is more than accurate, if not a little on the low side sometimes. But this idea that it's a powerful way to extend your brand's personality, it's just very weird. It's like what is old is now new again and weirder again.
I agree. My favorite thing on their website, they've got here under products direct mail. They mention that if you have beautiful handwriting, you can use your own because the AI can learn your handwriting style. What?
Wow.
That is signature,
wild.
Anybody? Forging signatures with a robot?
Yeah, exactly, right? How is that not being mentioned here? Yeah. I mean, granted, look, when was the last time anyone actually verified a signature? Validated a signature? Have you ever actually, when you sign for something, on a digital pen pad, like at a grocery store or retail of any kind, your signature is not exactly the same every time. And I've signed for other people's stuff before, and it's not comparing it to some database of signatures. It's all kind of bullshit.
Well, yeah. It's so when an auditor comes to you with a digital version of a check,
yes,
they say, "Is that your signature, Mr. Brown?" And you have to say, "No." Or
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Interesting stuff. But gosh, that was just the absolute perfect length for a listener mail segment. Thank you so much, Anna. Thank you, evil robot mad pen scientist.
No, thank you, evil robot pen scientist.
I'm not into it. It's very strange.